So very quickly, because this literally just broke while we were recording.
Really? Oh boy.
Which is great because I knew it was coming today. I just didn't know when. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Warzone 2 both launching in 2022. That's a lot of twos.
My goodness.
Both of them developed by Infinity Ward.
Maybe announced today. Hang on, hold up. Where's the latest news here? Is it only on Twitter?
I definitely seeing it. I can link you. Okay, I will link you right now.
I don't know who Invin Global are, but they've got the scoop right.
Scoops. So yeah, it is being built up on a brand new engine, which is interesting to me because the first Modern Warfare remake, remaster, redo by Infinity Ward was on its own new engine that then Call of Duty Cold War did not use. Vanguard did use that engine. And now it's a brand new one all over again. So 3 years for 3 games, I guess, Modern Warfare, Warzone, and Vanguard, and a new engine now. So that seems strange to me. But the big thing going forward is that this will be the only engine used for Call of Duty, which I think is the smart call, because I think having Treyarch work on a different engine and then try and integrate shit into Warzone and connect those 2 engines was an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Warzone 2 is going to be a standalone thing. It is not like, I think they've just over bloated the client with Warzone 1
too much, man. I mean, okay, like I played Warzone when it launched and I really enjoyed it, actually. But the fact that it was 150 gig download and then patch after patch, it's not like, hey, here's a 5 gig patch. It's like, hey, here's a 100 gig patch. And you're like, why?
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
How does any of this make sense?
And basically, if you're just downloading Warzone, you have to download the whole of Modern Warfare, even though you can't play it because Warzone is just a free-to-play game. So it's like, it's really confusing. Well, I think it's a good clean break for them.
Also, hopefully, Warzone 2 has a smaller install size. See both play.
Hope so. I'm stoked for Modern Warfare 2 because I really enjoyed that remake or redo of Modern Warfare. I definitely, if you had to give me that Cold War and Vanguard as the last 3 Call of Duties, that's definitely my favorite one. So yeah. Pretty stoked. I think Infinity Ward make great Call of Duty games. So, yeah.
I think you mean Xbox make great Call of Duty games. Soon.
Well, speaking of segues.
Oh, my.
Microsoft swears Call of Duty won't be exclusive to Xbox. Now, this is interesting. So, Microsoft has been very outspoken this week. Are not just on traditional gaming press, but like they've been on traditional news networks and whatever. I guess kind of like hedging their bets on the assumption that they are going to be investigated by the FTC or regulatory bodies for this purchase of Activision. And so they are making it very clear upfront of all the things they are changing so that they are not seen as a monopoly. And part of that is like a App Store, new policies for the App Stores that are going to change, which might, affect the sort of cut that they take from developers, the availability of third-party payment platforms, so sort of what Epic Games has been fighting with Apple for so long. They're trying to say, we have an open App Store, so we're not a monopoly because we cannot buy studios and lock them behind anything if our garden isn't walled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as part of this statement, there is a 2 paragraphs here that specifically mention Activision and then Call of Duty. So I'm just going to read it out here, these two things, because I think trying to read between the lines doesn't give you the full story. So it says, first, some commentators have asked whether we will continue to make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platforms like Sony's PlayStation. The obvious concern is that Microsoft could make this title available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for games, and for our business. So that, to me, seems very clear that they don't want to make at least Call of Duty an exclusive. However, it is still hand-wavy and vague enough that could just mean one game, like a free-to-play Warzone, for example, which to me would make the most sense. But at the same time, I can understand, arguments now that Call of Duty will stay multi-platform, like a Minecraft scenario. I think them naming Call of Duty specifically so many times indicates to me that it's only going to Call of Duty. Yeah, that applies to this deal.
I'm still in the camp where, Minecraft's a good example, I guess, because it still sells like hotcakes across every platform. It doesn't matter. And Call of Duty, I think, is the same thing. Of you can definitely get value in the sense of, hey, if you've got an Xbox, you can play Call of Duty on Game Pass. However, if you don't, you got a PlayStation, you can buy it. But it's still money coming to Microsoft. I don't know. It's interesting because I completely get the argument that if they make it exclusive, it will literally sell Xboxes because some people only play Call of Duty and they want a Call of Duty machine. So,
and to be honest, the thing that will drive people to Xbox is not that; it's the competitive scene. So before PlayStation had Call of Duty locked up, they had the deal to advertising and competitive rights. It was Microsoft. So the Xbox 360 enjoyed a lot of success on the back of Call of Duty competitive play being mostly on there. And now with Microsoft owning that, you can bet it's going to switch again. Like once whatever fucking existing agreements are there, because that is the longevity of the game. That's why the game continues to sell. And, if all competitions are played on Xbox, people will buy the game on Xbox if they are taking the game seriously. And then you run into the same situation that Sony, which this situation is even more bizarre because it's actually published by Sony, but like MLB The Show is published by Sony, but it's day one on Game Pass. So you can pay $70 for it on PlayStation or subscribe to Game Pass and get it for free on Xbox, which will be applied to Call of Duty. So
also related, MLB The Show 22 coming to Switch.
That too. Yeah, that's a whole new thing as well. It could be that there are already discussions in place to have Game Pass on PlayStation, in which case Call of Duty remains exclusive, but only accessible through Game Pass. I could see that.
What a weird time to be alive.
I know. It's fascinating to me that Microsoft is being so much more explicit in this regard when you compare it to Bethesda. And I think that is literally down to them expecting some regulatory issues around this. Obviously, they can't talk about concrete plans until the acquisition goes through, but they can say we intend to do X, Y, and Z when the deal goes through. But when it does go through, if they decide after 2 or 3 years that we'll keep Warzone on PlayStation, but new campaigns will only come to Xbox or something, they can do that. If you look back at the industry 2-3 years ago, it was so different to what it is now. It's very difficult to predict where it's going to be there and where Microsoft is going to be as a company there, because 3 years ago, Game Pass was fairly new and still everyone was going, this is not going to last. And fast forward 3 years, Microsoft is the Game Pass is the hottest thing in the industry, in my opinion. They own Bethesda and they're about to buy Activision. So interesting times. Times. Cool. Do you want to choose the next one?
Yeah, let's pivot to the random person in this whole conversation. Forget Sony and Microsoft, because we've got a third party here in the form of Nintendo, who are doing the most Nintendo thing. Just casual Nintendo thing. So
they're stretching Kirby on a car.
Stretching Kirby on a car. So
you wouldn't eat a car.
So earlier this week, they, in typical Nintendo fashion, they just quickly announced there's a Direct happening, and then the next day, a mainline Nintendo Direct happening. Let me tell you, if you...
I love to say, I love that approach. It's like, you can just wake up on a Wednesday and the day's just going by, and next thing is like, boom, Nintendo Direct tomorrow. And it's like, great.
Oh, when is it?
So
I would have waited 3 months. Like, no, it's tomorrow.
Nah, it's so good. Cool. I love it. Really love it.
This was an interesting Direct. I think there was a lot of good stuff shown. I think it'll be disappointing depending on your gaming taste. So,
if you like Hollow Knight, you're going to cry.
You're going to cry. It's fun. Do you like JRPGs? Because if you do, this is... Sandy's crying. JRPGs were thick and fast in this Direct.
Yeah, like, they really were. It was like JRPGs and nostalgia was big in this Direct.
I mean, I suppose one of the biggest announcements was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is coming to Switch. That is like their, one more thing.
Remind me, has that not been announced before?
No.
For some reason, I thought it was announced. Maybe it was like rumor or something.
It might have been the thing of like, they're working on a Xenoblade 3, whatever. So that's coming. Cool. Okay. But there were a lot of JRPGs that are just from yesteryear that it's like, hey, you remember this cool JRPG? We're giving it the 2.5 HD treatment. A la, what's a game called? You know what I'm talking about? Like Project Triangle Strategy. It's like the...
Octopath Traveler?
Octopath Traveler. It's that sort of look where it's an old game, but it's been made 3D, aka 2.5D. Yeah. So there's a lot of that stuff on some old beloved games that are now coming to Switch. I think the biggest one was called Chrono. What is it called? Chrono Cross. A lot of people were very.
I thought that was just a remaster, though, not like a remake.
I don't think it's a remake, but it is coming. So a lot of people are like, cool.
I know people love that game.
Yeah. So, and I mean, there was one called, God, what is it called? Live.
I've never heard of that game, but people went mental over that
Never heard
thing.
about it, but can I tell you, the premise of that sounds really cool. It reminds me a lot of, so like Chrono Trigger is, I think the predecessor to...
Chrono Trigger?
No, it's Chrono Trigger. I think is the predecessor to Chrono Cross. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think both games have a lot of time shenanigans happening in them. Live Alive, from my understanding, is that it's similar in that you have a lot of characters from different time periods, and it's just this very old JRPG that's getting like a modern release. So people lost their shit.
I mean, it's cool that there is literally an old ass game that presumably a lot of people have never heard of, and it's like, cool, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
I know the first two front mission games also getting remade, which is cool.
Exactly.
Giant mechs are making a comeback, so that's rad.
Yep.
Let's just go through this list here.
Yeah, because outside of JRPGs, there were some other things coming. We'll get to this Kirby story in a bit. So, kicking off the Direct, we had basically a Fire Emblem Musou game, like a 1 versus 3 million people story.
I swear to God, they've made one of these before.
I don't know.
A Fire Emblem's one. I seem to recall there being a Fire Emblem's one, like on 3DS or something.
Maybe.
I might be wrong, but yeah.
So Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Oh wait, you're right. Fire Emblem Warriors is back. So
okay, cool. So there was one at one point.
Cool. We're going to fly through this list. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 is coming on April 8th.
Excited.
Have you played Advanced Wars? I never have. And I know
but it seems like the sort of game I'd like. Yeah.
No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch.
This is crazy to me. I would love to see how this runs on Switch.
Can I tell you? You haven't watched the Direct, have you?
I've watched. I watched the trailer for this.
Oh God, no. So I hats off to this team for getting No Man's Sky to work on the Switch, but good Lord, does it look like there have been some concessions made?
I mean, it struggled on last-gen consoles. But it was not the best experience.
It works. It's running on Switch at 240p, but
it's still... What's wild to me about that game is just like how the trailers can invoke the same sort of... I mean, next year it will be 10 years since that game was first revealed.
What?
And like the trailers still evoke that same sense of, oh my God, this is kind of fucking incredible. You know what I mean?
I still love that redemption story that the game was like a big flop and then
it's a great and like the content they keep putting out for the game is monumental. It's really, and it's all free as well, so it's pretty great.
Do you like Ronaldo? Because
yes, we're getting Mario Soccer.
So we're getting Mario Strikers Battle League coming.
Goal
coming June 10. Splatoon 3 does not have a release date yet, but we did get a tease. Did you watch that trailer? It was a very bizarre trailer for a
more
co-op
salmon
mode.
run shenanigans. Yep. Very excited for that co-op nonsense. I love Splatoon, so very excited.
I've not played a Splatoon, so 3
I'm fucking shocked by that.
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, 2 front mission games are getting remade, with the one due this summer in America, and the other one following sometime. Disney Speedstorm, which is basically Mario Kart with Disney characters, it looks like. It's coming.
There's a lot of Mario Karts like coming out. There's the Chocobo racing one coming.
Yeah.
So, weird.
I think this one's free to play, if I'm not mistaken. There was something shown. Maybe it wasn't this.
So it's Disney. So can I get Darth Maul?
Probably.
In a racing kart.
In a keeping with the Disney trend, your favorite game, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
This game is fucking great. You ever wanted to play a God of War game, but Star Wars? That game, Force Unleashed, pretty great.
It's coming to Switch on April 20th, along with the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, which we mentioned earlier, out February 17th.
Wait, does that say hit Switch and mobile?
What? And mobile?
Can I play an Ezio game on my phone? That's wild.
Apparently. Rollout when? I don't know. Chrono Cross, we mentioned, is coming out on April 7th. That's
soon.
Just around the corner. And then we got the game of the show, hands down, Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
This game looks so cool.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the child of Kirby and The Last of Us, for all intents and purposes, and maybe a bit of Mario Odyssey. They showed off a mouthful mode, which shows Kirby just possessing a car. If you're watching the video feed, it is very weird. That is out March 25th, the month after Elden Ring. MLB The Show coming to Switch. This also looks like, I don't know how it's going to run on Switch, because the trailer was like, it's a bit touch and go. It looks like there's some concessions made.
Yeah, and I guess that game, like, I mean, on consoles has always looked really good. So
yeah, I also think it's looked pretty good. And it's running on Switch, but damn.
Yeah, got to hit them baseballs.
Good Lord, there are tons of games. Like, I know I said it's a JRPG fest, but there are some good games coming to Switch. If you like Klonoa, an old school game, also coming to Switch. But I think the big one, Portal, is getting a Switch collection, which is real good. If you've never played Portal, that game should run on Switch, no problem. It's also fairly old. So
Portal's a great time. Like, again, if people never played it on PC or whatever, just 2 fucking
one
great
of the
games.
best games ever made. So,
one of the best sequels ever made.
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, Live Alive coming to North America on July 22nd. This one gave me so much joy. Wii Sports is coming back in the form of Nintendo Switch Sports. So we're going to get the good old bowling, good old tennis, all of that stuff. Golf's not there on launch for some reason. It's being added as additional content, but they are adding new games like soccer and badminton. So yeah, did you ever?
I'm gonna come
Wii
over
Sports?
and fucking destroy you at Nintendo Switch badminton.
My brother and I played the shit out of Wii Sports.
The only knowledge I have of Wii Sports was, I remember a friend of mine had a Wii. He was the only one who had one. And I remember we played the baseball game, and he was like, "Oh, look how you can jippo the pitching. You could just take the controller and like wiggle it really fast, and the ball will just like fucking fly at the batter." And I was like, "This is stupid, but this is great."
There's a game called Rhythm Festival coming to the Switch. It's like I don't know.
Oh, it's one of those Taiko no it's like the drumming games that used to be at arcades. Those are really fun.
Looks like a lot.
There's one on Game Pass at the moment. How do you play it with a controller?
Don't know. Triangle Strategy got a new demo, and the game.
This game looks so weird. I don't know if I'm into this game at all.
I mean, the demo lets you play the first 3 chapters, which seems to be like, I don't know how long the chapters are, but that seems pretty like a nice chunk of game time to determine whether you want the game or not. And that progression carries over. So when the game launches, you can just
That's
pick
cool.
up where you left off.
That's cool.
Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, is coming to Switch on June 30th. I presume that's obviously multi-platform. Metroid Dread is getting 2 new difficulty modes. So Dread for, I think it's 1 life.
It's 1 life.
Die, that's it. And then Rookie it just makes the game a little bit easier. And then a boss rush mode, which is quite cool. The bosses in that game are super good. This news simultaneously excited and pissed off people because Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are coming to the Nintendo, or they were added to the Nintendo Switch online service. And then people waiting for Mother 3 will still get nothing.
So Earthbound and Mother are the same series. They're just different names and different regions. But people have been waiting for a Western version of Mother 3 for literal decades and still nothing. Yeah.
Still nothing. Then there's a quick sizzle reel. Zombie Army 4 Dead War arrives on April 26th. Gets a Fumaden. I don't know if I said that right. And Dying Moon is out today. That looks really pretty. I like the trailer for that. The Demon Slayer game arrives on June 10. And then this I've never heard of this game in my life, but Lego Brawls. Have you heard of that?
Is that where you wrestle someone, but you scatter Lego blocks on the floor, so when you suplex them, it hurts?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Literally Super Smash Brothers, but the Lego version. I was like,
what? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get Lego Darth Maul?
No. Can't just get Darth Maul, all these things. And then 2 Point Campus arriving on May 17th. This announcement as well, simultaneously excited and pissed off people. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting an influx of new content in the form of paid DLC that consists of 48 courses.
I don't know why people are pissed off about this. 2 things. Mario Kart 9 is not coming for a long time.
No.
If you pay any attention to Nintendo's earnings, Mario Kart 8 is still selling like fucking crazy. So for them to just cut Mario Kart 8 off and start anew, that's super not going to happen. I don't think it's for the next Switch that's going to happen.
No.
And 48 tracks is a lot of... That's more than the number of tracks in the game right now. So it's going to feel like a new game.
What's funny is that I think... how much does it cost? Is it $25?
It's $30, I think, and it's included as part of the.
It's
granted not super well priced expansion pass, but at least it's adding some value.
It's there. I mean, I think what's worth pointing out is that maybe if you don't want to pay for the service 100%, it's still pricey.
Of course.
I mean, if this trend continues, at the moment, if you're a big Animal Crossing fan and a Mario Kart fan, you're paying for the service to get this content included. Which is quite cool. But I mean, what's the service going to look like in a year when there's more shit added to it? I don't know. We'll see. And then, like we mentioned earlier, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was used to close out the show with some of the best, worst Aussie/British accents you've heard in your life.
I did see someone mention something on Twitter regarding Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which made me nod in agreement. They were like, there is no excuse for Pokemon Arceus looking the way it does when Xenoblade 100%. Chronicles looks.
Can I tell you what I did at the office on Thursday? So we're going to the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, and I had my Switch with me because good John Michael, he's living that Animal Crossing life.
Good old liquid cool my balls, John Michael.
That's him. He's out here looking to sell his turnips. I'm like, cool fam, I'll check my turnip prices for you. But towards the end of the day, the last 15 minutes of the day, we were busy just chatting about the Nintendo Direct. And I said, I know you've never played Xenoblade, but you can't deny the game looks really pretty. That trailer had some set pieces damn, that's really nice. Even for the Switch, it looks really good. And then I had the trailer open and I pulled out my Switch and I put on Pokemon Arceus and I held it in front of the screen. And I said, what is Nintendo's excuse? I mean, what is Game Freak's excuse?
Because, to be honest, Digital Foundry did a video, analyzing Arceus's graphics, and they were like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 fucking blows this thing out the water, and that runs perfectly fine on Switch.
Xenoblade Chronicles 1, in some cases, looks better.
So it is not a hardware thing. It is Game Freak just not getting the best out of whatever fucking engine they use. And I hope to God that, given they are owned by one of the biggest companies on the planet, that they get their shit together in that regard. Because some of the shit in Arceus, like Arceus, Pokemon models look great, but those environments, they look fucking embarrassing.
Just remind me, what I need to do is I need to take a screenshot when you use a Pokeball in water. Because when that Pokeball lands in the water, it is so pixelated. I'm like, wow. I need to get a screenshot.
It's just it, like you said, there's no excuse. And Nintendo should not be allowing this, to be honest, because it makes them look bad. Like, they have Breath of the Wild, they have Mario Odyssey, they have all these games that make use of the limited hardware in creative and good ways. They use art style to cover, the limitations. And Game Freak are just like, fuck that. Like, I just don't get it, man. I really do not get why they get a pass all the time. Maybe because the games just sell well and no one actually gives a shit. So.
Well, not on news this week, but last week, I think Pokemon Arceus sold 6.5 million copies in its first week.
Yeah, well, there's your
answer. It just
there's
sells well.
Answer.
And then, let's just bounce to some last pieces of news because we're running long in the tooth here. Resident Evil 4 Remake will be more horror focused.
According to some reports, Imran Khan over at Fanbyte put out a report.
This is written by good pal Darren Bonethighs.
Love that guy. Love that guy.
Love to see it.
So apparently there were some early betas when the game was first being developed that had the game be like set at night and a bit more spooky, and we know that a lot of those concepts actually got used in what would end up being Devil May Cry. But it seems like the remake, which hasn't actually been announced yet, might be going for that. That's one thing I actually never mentioned is I've been playing some of the HD project on PC, which is interesting because it's not a HD remaster. It's not meant to make the game look fundamentally different. It's just like the PC port originally used N64 in GameCube textures. So, they did a whole rework of that, and it really shows. It's like really, really good. So if you never played it, it's like $50 on Steam. The mod is free.
My goodness.
Would recommend. Yeah.
Sure. It's interesting because I think some people will be like, but Resident Evil 4 is about that, more action RE vibe. I don't mind. Like, RE4 exists. It's fine. It's there. Let's see what they do with the remake.
Like, people being precious about this. Have we not forgotten that Capcom have literally fed us so well with Resident Evil Remake 2? Cut this team like a bit of slack. They've literally delivered they've literally delivered one of the best, the bar for what remakes should be. And here are people still second guessing that same team. Like, fucking just let them do their thing. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Ubisoft are turning a Valhalla DLC into a standalone Assassin's Creed game. And it is, I think you play as Basim.
Remind me, Basim is the assassin who appears at the beginning of Valhalla, correct?
And you do stuff with him throughout the game.
Okay, apparently he's got powers. How does that work?
Don't know. Remember, Valhalla was my first Assassin's Creed, so this is all brand new to me. But I think what you and many others are very excited for is that this Assassin's Creed is going to a more original, stealth-focused system, which is cool because me having played Valhalla, I was like, this is just, I enjoyed it.
Stealth
but
straight up is broken
is just
in that game.
not a thing. You can just YOLO through a camp, and that's cool. That's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but at some point. And then last piece of news. Battlefield 2042 refund petition gains over 120,000 signatures.
Oof.
RIP. Let's just do a live update right here. What are we on now? Oh wait,
it goes from bad to worse. Like,
here we go. It's on 160,000.
Jesus. Listen, I don't really know. I can understand now why EA has basically sent over Vince Zampella, the co-founder of Respawn, to kind of revive DICE. Because boy, I do not know what the fuck is going on there.
Yeah.
And also the fact that like EA has really put all of their eggs into the Respawn basket for the next couple of years. Like they are making a new Star Wars shooter. It's not going to be Battlefront 3. They're going to make a new they're making Jedi Fallen Order 2, and then they're making a strategy game. And DICE is just up here going, we are trying to put out every single fire that we created with Battlefield 2042. So yeah. I would not be shocked if we don't see Battlefield for a while. Like it feels like every time it was just building up to there is going to be a catastrophic, terrible one, and this is it. You know,
they need to do like a reboot of the franchise. I think so.
Yeah, after this, definitely, because I think they've absolutely destroyed the any sense of like brand loyalty after this game. Yeah,
and there you go. That's all the gaming news.
That is gaming news.
Call of Duty on its way to selling more copies. Battlefield rip.
Yeah, essentially. Remember when every year was like, oh, who's going to win between Call of Duty and Battlefield? Now it's like, will Battlefield not be terrible?
Nope.
Turns out, no.